Julian Alvarez may have made one of the biggest gambles of his career. During the 2026 World Cup, while Argentina were still competing, Alvarez publicly admitted that he wanted to leave Atlético Madrid. And his reason was simple. He wanted to fulfill his dream. The problem, Atlético had no intention of letting him go. And months later, that decision has left the Argentine striker stuck in a situation that could become extremely difficult. Alvarez joined Atlético from Manchester City in 2024 for a reported €95 million. He quickly became one of the club's most important players. So when Barcelona's interest emerged, the situation changed completely. Atlético repeatedly insisted that Alvarez was not for sale. The club pointed to his contract, which runs until 2030, and a €500 million release clause. Then came the statement that started everything. After Argentina's World Cup win over Austria on June 22, Alvarez was asked about his future. His answer was remarkably direct. He said that the best thing for everyone would be a transfer, and that he wanted to fulfill his dream. He also confirmed that he had already spoken to Atlético about the situation. That was the moment the transfer story exploded. Barcelona were reportedly his preferred destination. But Atlético didn't respond by opening negotiations. They pushed back hard. The club's CEO Miguel Ángel Gil Marin said Atlético did not want to transfer Alvarez and later insisted the club would reject €100 million, €150 million, or even €200 million. And that created the biggest problem for Alvarez. He had publicly made his desire to leave clear. But the club still controlled his future. Then everything became even more complicated. Atlético accused Barcelona of mounting what it described as a campaign against the club over Alvarez. In May, Atlético even posted sarcastic messages appearing to mock Barcelona's interest before demanding respect and values. And in July, the Atlético CEO went further. Gil Marin said Alvarez had been badly advised since the end of the season, while still insisting he believed the striker could remain a successful Atlético player. So was Alvarez's decision actually career suicide? Not literally. There is no verified evidence that his career has been ruined. But professionally, the situation is uncomfortable. Because if Atlético refused to sell him, Alvarez could have to continue playing for the very club he publicly asked to leave. And now comes the twist. The transfer still hasn't happened. As of August 16, Barcelona's pursuit remains complicated, while Atlético continues to resist selling him. Recent reporting says Barcelona's chances of signing Alvarez are now extremely difficult, especially with the club pursuing other major targets. Even more importantly, Alvarez has reportedly returned to Atlético and, according to recent Spanish reporting, apologized over how the situation was handled while still wanting the Barcelona move. That could be crucial, because his career now depends on what happens next. If Barcelona somehow find a way to complete the deal, Alvarez's public statement could eventually look like the first step toward his dream move. But if Atlético keep the door closed, he has to rebuild trust with the supporters and prove that his commitment to the club is still genuine. And that's where the football matters. Atlético need Alvarez. Barcelona need a striker. Alvarez wants Barcelona, but Atlético hold the contract. So what looked like a simple transfer request has turned into one of the most complicated sagas of the summer. Was Alvarez right to speak publicly? Or did he make the situation harder for himself? There is no verified evidence that one statement has damaged his career permanently. But one thing is certain. Julian Alvarez took a huge risk by making his dream public. Now, he has to live with whatever comes next. What do you think? Should Alvarez stay and rebuild his relationship with Atlético, or should the club finally let him leave? Drop your opinion in the comments, and subscribe for more football stories and transfer controversies.